Hi friends! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Debbie or Cakes and this is another segment of Shop My Stash where we are going to be covering the color yellow today. This is a bit harder for me because I don't typically wear yellow in general. I don't really think I even have yellow clothes necessarily. So let's see how this goes. And while I put on makeup today, I'm actually going to tell you about my experience going to the grand opening of the Sonic the Hedgehog Speed Cafe. It opened the 18th of January. I've been meaning to record this. Lots of things have happened in between. Today's date is like the 28th, 27th. But let's get started. Okay, so I do want to try and pick some different products today that I typically haven't really shown. Like this Revolution brow block, we can try that. We can try my Cream Shop eyebrow pomade. It's like a dark brown. Of course, Essence Brighten Up. It's the only one that I have, to be fair. Revolution Super Base for my eyeshadow. For mascara, we're going to be finishing up my Rare Beauty, like Perfect Strokes Mini. I'm pretty sure this only has a couple uses left now. For concealer, we're going to be trying out my Revlon Color Stay Skin Awaken Caffeine plus Vitamin C. Oh, 24 hours 5-in-1 concealer. God, that's a mouthful. It's quite thick as well, if I remember. It also has the puff top, which is why I don't really use it often, but we'll try it. For foundation, I think because I mainly pulled Revolution, we're going to try and finish up my Revolution IRL filter. Longwear foundation, breathable soft matte. It is in the shade F14. It is not the right shade. I should have gotten F15. I think that's everything for what I need to grab. For powder, I'm going to be using my e.l.f. HD powder in Soft Luminance. Okay, this part is a little bit harder. I think for a highlighter, I'm actually going to go with my Fenty Beauty Kilowatt and of course Trophy Wife. We'll see how that works. As an alternative though, I think I'm going to grab my ColourPop highlighter quad in Dream Sequence. For my face primer, I'm just going to use my e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. And the last thing I need in here is blush. I think I'm gonna grab, let's try this. This is an oldie, but it's pretty okay. This is the ColourPop Blush Stick in Mic Drop. I don't know if they even make these anymore, but it's pretty good. I've had it for a really long time, so I should actually probably consider decluttering it. For lip, I think I'm just going to do lip liner and a lip gloss. My lip gloss is of course going to be from the ColourPop and Winx Club collab. This is Stella's. It's very cute. I really like it. Lip liner, of course, I think I'm probably actually going to go with ColourPop Lippy Pencil in Chain Reaction. Palettes is also a tough one if I'm just trying to think of palettes that happen to have good yellow shades. Most of the yellows that I've ever used come off quite patchy or they're very hard to build up. So I want to check a couple palettes and then grab them. And I'm just going to pull them over and then we'll check them on camera. Alrighty, we are back with the makeup portion of the Shop My Stash, and I've also swapped over to my old camera, the Sony ZV-1. I don't know why, I've been kind of missing it, and I feel like the zoom in is a little less grainy compared to my DJI Osmo Pocket, whatever it's called. Anyways, let's hop right into it before the cramping gets worse. e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I feel like I used to have way more primers and now it's just this e.l.f. putty primer, that little Milk Makeup trial size that I got from my sister. And I think I still have a Makeup Revolution illuminating one that's like pink pearlescent. It's so nice. I wish they never discontinued it. Love it. Makes it slightly sticky, slightly tacky. Right into foundation. IRL filter F14, not my right shade. I need F15. I'm actually just gonna put it on the back of my hand this time. I've used about 2 pumps. Even though it's not the right color, it does have really good coverage. And it doesn't feel heavy on the skin. You don't really have to go over the eyes with foundation. You can just go in with your eyeshadow primer or even just concealer, but I kind of want everything to be the same tone, considering this foundation isn't the right shade. And then I'm just going to use up whatever's left on my fat little throat area. Going in with my little concealer, Revlon. I don't know if this is still available. Yeah, it has that puffer top that I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I don't think anything's wait, yep, yes it is. It's also quite light. I'm just gonna go back in with my foundation brush. I remembered it being quite thick. It's not as thick as the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. It's a bit too light, in my opinion. It's not bad. I don't know if I would say it's my favorite. It also has a slightly more peachy undertone than I thought, so it did come off a bit lighter than I thought it would. I'm actually gonna add just a little more right here. Not terrible. Today I don't really feel like going in with contour or bronzer, so we're not going to do that. We're going to skip that. We are going to go in with blush. Let's do that. While I start to tell you about my harrowing tale trying to get into the pop-up shop Sonic the Hedgehog Speed Cafe. It's going to be here for 2 months when I thought it was only going to be here for 3 days. That was definitely my mistake. I don't really use Instagram, so I didn't know what the inside was going to look like. I assumed that it was going to be like a full-blown cafe with tables and chairs. Was not anything of the sort. Nothing of the kind. So it opened at 11. It's basically a little over an hour away from us. We wake up pretty early. We get there at 11:04, mind you. So it's not like we got there at 12. It's not like we got there at 1. It's not like we got there at 2 in the afternoon and the line was just stacked. We got there at 11:04, 4 minutes after they opened. And another big problem is that where the cafe is situated, there's a Kroger, it's a very small shopping center. The parking is very limited. I felt a little bad for the people doing their regular like grocery shopping because they definitely couldn't find any parking because everybody took all the spots for the cafe. Took all of it. We had to park super far away. We started back at Publix. Picture this. I need you use your noggin. Picture this. Say Publix is right here. Okay? It's actually, I'm gonna move a little right here. Say Publix is right here. That's where the Speed Cafe was. So it was not close if you're starting at Publix, which is where we had to start. We wanted to go there for lunch. We ended up having Einstein Bagels Bros. Einstein Bagel Bros as like a breakfast lunch crossover, as our brunch, if you will, because we didn't know how long it was going to take us. So we were thinking, oh, it might take like 2 hours to get into the cafe. 2 hours would have been kind. 2 hours would have been gentle. I don't think I would have felt bad after 2 hours. Mind you, it's also cold outside. The weather that day, cold, okay? Okay, it's frozen. It's very cold outside. So we line up. You can automatically see people popping up, skipping in line. I wish there was better line like enforcement because there really wasn't anything or anyone really there to make sure that you're not skipping and dodging in line. So there was a lot of that, which just kept pushing the line back. The line was also moving very slowly. And when I learned that there were no chairs inside, and it was really just because they're having to take so much time because people were also ordering a lot. Like, I don't know if maybe they were doing food reviews, I don't care, but if you're ordering the whole menu, they were slowing down the line so much. I saw people who came after me leaving before me with their children. I saw people leaving with 5 bags and you're one person, which again, I didn't even assume that you're eating all of it. I'm like, maybe they came by for their friends, but even if you're the one eating all of it, this is a pop-up, and then you see how long the line is. Why are you being so stingy ordering everything? And at the same time, I get it. Because if you looked at how long this line was, you would probably order everything too because you don't even want to come back again, okay? So we line up. We're thinking maybe it might be 2 hours, maybe even 3 if it's, you know, not that bad. Why were we in line until about 7 p.m.? Why were we in line for about 8 hours? And they close at 8 p.m.? Why did it take so long for us to get up there? They didn't have any tables. When I got inside, I felt a little piece of me like die a little bit because there were no tables. Like, I'm busy here thinking people are kicking back, taking up space in there because there's tables. There were no tables. I'm sorry. I know I keep talking about the tables, but there were none. No tables. None. Okay. Highlighter. There were no tables. But on the flip side, the inside was phenomenal. I'm gonna insert like a little bit of videos and some photos that I took. It looked magnificent inside. They really went hard with their theming. I thought that was really, really cool once I was able to actually get inside and enjoy it. This is the quad. There we go. I'm gonna use this one. One is a purple base, one is more peachy, one is pink, and then Counting Sheep, the one that I picked, is more of a true yellow. It's pretty, but in person it does look a bit dry. But the inside was phenomenal. The theming was phenomenal. They had a meal combo that you could order where you could get one of the hot dogs, you could get a t-shirt, and you could get some fries for like 55 bucks. And look, I know that it's expensive, and I know that we waited in line for 8 hours. So of course we were gonna do that because it was gonna be the way to get most of the items on the menu. And you also got a drink. You could pick one of the slushies. And I'm also gonna insert the food that we picked because we ended up having dinner in the car and then driving home. We had dinner in the car and we drove home, but the inside was really amazing. The workers, to their credit, they were super kind. They were definitely working at max capacity, and I feel like they may have just overestimated how many homies love and grew up with Sonic. Like, I grew up playing Sonic 2 on the Sega Game Gear with my older brothers and my older sister. So like, my partner was also a very big Sonic fan, and that's why when one of my Discord buddies, love you Swiss, was like, hey, are you going? I was like, oh my god, we have to go. Did we need to go opening day? Probably not, and I definitely would have gone on a different day had I known that opening day was going to be so awful just getting inside. But I get to say I was there opening day. I was there opening day at the Sonic Cafe, and I didn't know that it's actually going to be in town for like 2 months versus the weekend that I thought it was. So we're probably going to go back once I think hype dies down, and it probably has died down since we went, and I hope so. I think I put on a little too much. This highlighter is good. It's just sometimes it can be very flaky and finicky to work with. So yeah, no chairs. But yeah, another thing that just kind of sucks is we went on their website and they also came down the line to like show us what merch they had available, because it turns out they don't bring everything. They have custom merch, I guess, for each location they go to. So if you go online, you can see their other merch that's available from other pop-ups, like their California one. And so Atlanta, it was different. Well, they had like a black market one that my partner really wanted, and it was already basically sold out, didn't have a size anymore, so we had to pick a different one. And I mean, it is cute. I'm gonna show pictures of the merch that we picked. It is cute, but it's also not what he wanted. I did get the one that I wanted because it had Sonic and my man's shadow, so I'm happy about that. But I just felt really sad that that one was not available, and so we're thinking of going back just to see if maybe they got more of their merch in, which would be great. I'm gonna go in with my powder. But yeah, that was my first time, I think, waiting in line for 8 hours. Don't get me wrong, I go to anime cons and you know the line to get in, even a registration, could be pretty long, but I don't think it's ever been that long before. Okay, we powdered up. I'm gonna leave that to sit while I try to find a good yellow to start as a base. All right, so the palettes I pulled, there's a couple. Cream Shop Warm and Toasty, not new to the channel at all. I've pulled this out quite a couple times, and the only thing I'm really focusing on is Golden Honey, this really awesome yellow like shimmer. Might use that. We might pull the yellow from the Sailor Moon and ColourPop collab. I was going the wrong way. There we go. There's a really pretty yellow right here. Most of these do have suspended shimmer in them, and I know some people don't like them. I don't mind them, it's whatever, but it's very powdery. Again, ColourPop Wings Club. I've pulled this out quite a few times on the channel. I think I might use the yellow in this palette as well, because it's more of like a butter yellow. Super pretty. It is in the shade Solaria. We stand Stella in this house. And then the last palette that I pulled, I don't know how this is gonna be. Most of the shades were great in this palette. I remember maybe 1 or 2 being kind of bad at swatches. I'm talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles palette with Profusion and this yellow shade right here, because it's more of like a mango-ish yellow. Maybe, we'll see, we'll see. I'm gonna do my eyebrows, actually. Let's do that. This is quite dry, so I usually put a little drop of Inglot Duraline inside to kind of wake it up, make it more of a paste than whatever it is right now. Let me see if it's still fine. It's okay. No, I think I still want to give it a little drop. You can see that in there, and I just mix it around. It's a bit better. It's not perfect, but it's good enough for me, I think. Okay, I'm gonna go on top with my brow block. Sometimes it actually takes color away. So I don't know how it's gonna go this time. It kind of works. I just hate how big it is, and that's why I almost never reach for it. Okay, that's as good as it's gonna get. Let's quickly start on the eyes with my Makeup Revolution Super Base. I just remember it being super wet. Not my favorite. Okay, gonna take this brush. Okay, I think I kind of got the shapes to match somewhat. I tried. Let's just get started. I think I'm actually going to start with the yellow from the Sailor Moon and ColourPop collab. And we have to work fast before my eye starts creasing, which it already is. I got this like when it launched. Honestly, it's still pretty dang good. Like, it's packing on pretty well, and you can actually see the yellow, which is what I wanted. Yeah, not bad. Okay, I'm gonna try and add some of that Solaria shade from Winx Club. I'm gonna use a little brush this time. Again, not bad. Wait a minute. Alrighty, so now, no, there's no yellow shimmer in this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one. I mean, there's kind of a gold, and there's, no, that has a pinky peach base. But we could use Full Moon, this one. Or I could go straight up gold with Golden Honey. I don't know, I'm conflicted. Ooh, you know what? Let's try Golden Honey. Oh my god, whoa. I'm gonna grab a little brush to see if I can apply this a bit better. I don't hate it, but I do feel like you can still kind of see that eyeshadow primer underneath it. I don't know. I don't know how to feel. I lost a little bit of that Solaria shade, so we're actually gonna go back in just a little bit. Okay, and whatever's left of that Sailor Moon on this brush, I'm just gonna go back in. I kind of don't even want to put on eyeliner, so I'm not. Not this time. Okay, let's get this off. I feel like my highlighter's still on there. It's just, ooh, it's looking a little dry, I must admit. That's unfortunate. And now I'm actually gonna go on top with that Fenty Beauty highlighter. Got this from one of my old college roommates that I used to be really close to. I hope she's doing well. Kind of blend, make it more yellow. Just a little bit. I remember I used to put on way too much. Okay, my blush is still there, which is great. I really don't like my eyebrows this time around. Mascara, since I'm not gonna be doing eyeliner this time. Okay, I'm also gonna spray down now my e.l.f. Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. I really want to try their matte primer though. That's one thing that's been on my mind. Okay, I'm gonna do my lip. Going in with the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in Chain Reaction. And then my Stella ColourPop and Winx Club lip gloss. Alrighty, I will be right back and we'll be able to finish up. Okay, this is the final look for you guys. I did put on my old trusty dusty Faithful. I also cut her like a lot. I was like, you know what? I'm kind of over it being super long, so let me just cut it upwards. And I also put on the only yellow set that I have at my disposal. Because again, I don't really wear yellow all that much, but it's my... I'll show you guys. But it's my Cinnamoroll like little sleep set that I got from Forever 21 like 2 or 3 years ago. It's a size large and it fits me, and the only reason I held on to it was because I don't know, I didn't want to let it go, so I didn't, and now I can fit it and I'm really happy about that. But this is it for today's Shop My Stash Yellow Edition. How do we like it? Do you think I should have added eyeliner? Do you like that I layered the highlighter? Do you like the lip that I picked? I do have a couple other yellow lip glosses, but not very many, and the Stella one from ColourPop and Winx Club was probably the best one at my disposal. But yeah, how do I feel? I even like the blush that I picked because I feel like it's not too overpowering against the rest of the makeup and you can just really see the yellow pop. But yeah, that's all I've got for you guys today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!